Okay, there are many, many more interesting stories of science and myth examining one another through the open window. And there are many more interesting questions about the nature of truth that's made possible by just allowing light to flow from either side of the window. Now, I've mentioned the modern iteration of the term myth and how it's quietly become synonymous with ignorance, backwardness, nonsense, and yes, even stupidity. And yet, over the last few months, we've gathered here and considered our own questions about the window between science and myth and the light between reason and inspiration. Last October, for example, we shared this strange mythic vision. A group of mysterious dancing particles that gradually formed into the image of a serpent consuming its own tail. This strange mythic vision was experienced in 1865 by the German scientist August Kekule, the father of modern organic chemistry. He publicly credited this glimpse through the window as the inspiration for his groundbreaking model of the benzene molecule, which became the acknowledged key to the whole mystery of chemical structure. We also shared the myth of a blind 8-year-old girl considered to be a mental and physical inferior who heard a disembodied voice calling to her with the exact time of day in hours, minutes, and seconds. This very young disabled girl had never seen a clock, nor had ever had the mathematics of time explained to her. But for a few minutes, she listened intently to the voice. The young girl was so captivated by the mysterious voice that she herself began sharing this gift of time and began to call it the time of day. Even when the voice became silent and the young girl began sharing this new miracle of time with others around her. You should know that this myth is the actual story of Ellen Boudreaux, blind, autistic, and partially disabled. She is now 63 years old, and to this very day, she can still tell you the exact time of day, to the minute and second, without the benefit of any clock other than the gift of time that was shared with her over 50 years earlier. And the disembodied voice was the gentle pre-recorded voice of the telephone company's time service. And last month, we shared the mythic dream of another clock. Its calibrated faces spinning both vertically and horizontally on a shared axis, carried on the back of a giant black bird and surrounded by a vast golden ring. It was the dream of a brave but disturbed explorer who sought an interpretation from an equally brave and wise older sage, who told the explorer that the clock was a way to understand the universe of men and God. The brave explorer was the Nobel Prize-winning quantum physicist Wolfgang Pauli, and the wise sage was the legendary psychologist Carl Jung, who counseled Pauli through a emotional struggle and scientific inspiration.